Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, July 15, 2021. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is warning that he will act decisively if persons continue to disobey the COVID-19 protocols. Mr. Holness's caution comes as the Ministry of Health and Wellness reports a slight increase in COVID-19 positivity and hospitalization rates. In addition to the Health Ministry's surveillance activities, the Prime Minister says ODPEM and his ministry have been paying close attention to what's happening in the parties, nightclubs, restaurants, and other gathering locations. Based on those surveillance, Mr. Holness says there's a worrying trend, particularly among young persons, of people not observing the COVID-19 protocols.
As your Prime Minister, it is my role to balance all the considerations. It is not an easy task. The arguments on both sides are strong and compelling. But ultimately, I have a duty to the safety of the population. If it is that your behavior threatens the safety of the population, then I will have to act. I need not say any further on this matter.
Since July 1, the country has relaxed certain COVID-19 restrictions. They include extending the curfew hours and lifting the ban on entertainment events and funerals. Starting today, persons 60 years and older who are fully vaccinated can apply for the COVID-19 vaccine incentive grant of $10,000. Applications must be made online via the wecare.gov.jm website. Qualified persons will need to provide their first and last name, TRN, date of birth, mobile phone number, and an email address if available. They will also need to indicate a preferred method of payment, whether through a valid commercial bank or a remittance agency. During a national broadcast last evening, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke said the initiative was among government's response to the pandemic having a disproportionately fatal impact on Jamaicans within the 60 and older age group. He emphasized that figures from the Ministry of Health as at June showed that 75% of those who have died from COVID-19 are among this cohort.
In addition, though that cohort are only 14% of the population, they represent over 50% of those who have been hospitalized as a result of COVID-19. The population aged 60 and over is, therefore, very vulnerable to COVID-19, and the pandemic does not end in Jamaica until a large majority of these Jamaicans are vaccinated against COVID-19.
For further assistance, call the Customer Service Center at the Ministry of Finance, toll-free at 888-4WE-CARE. That's 888-493-2273. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the first zone of special operation to be declared, Mount Salem, has become a model community for the ZOSO's effectiveness. A zone of special operations was declared for the St. James community in 2017, leading to a range of transformation work. Minister Chang says the coordinated and comprehensive approach to community development for sustainable violence reduction will be replicated in other vulnerable and volatile communities.
We demonstrate our commitment to transforming not only communities but the police force to provide the community with the quality of safety and peace as we provide the police officers with the environment in which to always work hard to protect and serve, as is their mission in this country.
The National Security Minister was speaking at Wednesday's opening of the remodeled state-of-the-art Mount Salem Police Station. The $47.6 million upgrade was funded by the European Union and executed by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. The Ministry of Education will be launching 211 as a singular helpline for children at risk or for anyone who wishes to report child abuse. Portfolio Minister Favour Williams says the helpline will be launched on September 6 and follows approval from the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR.
This helpline will be manned 24 hours by child care professionals and will be a significant addition to the child protection ecosystem. We will be running a national campaign to inform Jamaicans of this new helpline, as we will transition it to be the main helpline for reporting child abuse in Jamaica. And because it will be easy to remember, we know that it will be used in those times.
The minister was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. She says the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, will also be embarking on a positive or good parenting campaign to empower Jamaican parents to raise happy, healthy, and smart children. And the Education Ministry will be undertaking a corporal punishment campaign where parents will be encouraged to try positive discipline. Both campaigns will run for a total of 4 years in separate phases. The island's first inclusive infant school will soon be converted into a fully inclusive learning institution up to the secondary level. A memorandum of understanding was recently signed between the Ministry of Education and the Rock House Foundation to facilitate the development. The Savannah Lamar Inclusive Infant Academy was created in 2017 as the island's first public education institution catering to students with and without disabilities.
The ministry will ensure that the property remains open as an inclusive infant school in the first instance and gradually transition into a full inclusive school from the early childhood level to the secondary level. The ministry will provide teachers for the institution with access to in-service training and support materials that are made available by the ministry to teachers in early childhood level public educational institutions.
The Education Ministry and Rock House Foundation will also work together to provide furniture, teaching and learning resources, as well as playground equipment for the startup and continuation of the school.
We will facilitate specialists such as occupational, physical and speech therapists, as well as medical personnel in cooperation with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. The ministry will ensure that a balanced meal is provided for all the students of the institution and undertakes to provide funds for the maintenance, security, and operation of the school.
And finally, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development will be launching a comprehensive public education drive within the next 2 weeks on the proper disposal of waste. Portfolio Minister Desmond Mackenzie says the campaign will incorporate the use of various platforms, including social media.
If we provide a garbage truck for every community in Jamaica, and if we find all the resources that is required to clean drains and gullies, if a section of the Jamaican society don't buy into self-preservation and discipline, then all our efforts will go in vain.
Mr. Mackenzie made the disclosure at the recent monthly meeting of the Trelawney Municipal Corporation. He says the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, and the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, will be integral to the project. And all sectors of the society, including vendors and the business community, will be engaged in the drive. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry.